Hi everybody, I'm back again, and now I'm going to share another part of a testimony that involves my own life. So not just a testimony just about blessing someone else or something like that, but something that I feel like God was leading me in personally at one point in my life and has shaped my story a lot. And last time I shared about Abraham and how God's shared a promise particularly to him. And I also believe God can share promises to us, though I don't know if this is from God. I feel more confused at this point in my life. So if you wanted to pray for me, that could be a point there. So this is the next part. So basically, I already shared about a girl that prayed and God told her to wait to tell me that she liked me. Fast forward, I go to Mozambique and I come back and she had made the decision not to be with me more than friends, and there's a different thing that happened where all of her feelings for me just left in an instant because of some stupid self-righteous attitude I had basically. And yeah, so I thought, okay, maybe even though I was kind of I was definitely more open and wanting to be in a marriage relationship. Basically, I was also okay with being friends because I would never want to force someone to be in a relationship that they wouldn't want to be in unless it was like obviously God that was saying it. We both had to get over something in our minds. Anyways, that's a different conversation. Sorry. This time, this person was leaving to go back to their country from which they were from, and about to. And we happened to be living on the same dorm floor together, and she had prayed the year before and asked God, and she felt like God told her to live on the same dorm floor as me. And yes, we were living in the dorms as seniors in college. I was okay with being friends, but for some reason, which I'm still a little confused about, she didn't, all of a sudden, she didn't want to even see me, didn't want to talk to me, and it was very confusing. I felt very hurt, and I didn't want to feel hurt, but I was feeling hurt. I felt fear every single time I would see her, even though God would actually sometimes give me a picture or something, tell me to go someplace, and then I would go there and I would find her there. Actually, at some point in my life, she had done the same thing previously, where she prayed and then God led her to where I was. So it's kind of interesting how God led us to where the other person was. Anyways, so sometimes I would show up and I would feel this fear, like, I want to talk to you, but you don't want to talk to me, and I don't know what to do. It was confusing, but I kept praying, and I kind of got into more struggles in my own mind and heart during that season, but sometimes God would still lead me to where she was. And eventually, one night I was praying for a very long time, and God's voice all of a sudden became clearer in my mind, where before, if I never really knew if it was me or God, but this particular time it felt so clear, like I knew it was God, and God told me to go up into my room. So I went up into my room. I got in my bed and the sun was just rising, and I saw some pictures in my mind. I saw two pictures. The first, well, I might have seen a moose with some flying leaves over it. I don't remember about that one. But I saw where I went to this person. She had a Christmas tree. I took her Christmas tree and I went to the North Pole. And I had no idea what that meant until later. But I just was like, okay. And I was still feeling really joyful in God's presence. And then God told me to get up right now. I want you to go and leave. So now I'm not praying, and I literally get up, grab my backpack, open the door. The sun is just rising. I never leave at this point in the day ever. And she is walking by at this exact moment. So God led me to her one more time, and I felt the fear again, but because of God leading me one more time to where she was, I had this faith arising in me. Okay, like God's love is real, God is real, and then the fear left. There's a Bible verse that says, "Perfect love casts out all fear." So in this moment, my faith helped me to believe in God's love, which pushed out the fear. And I was able to talk to her very clearly, and I just basically was trying to say to her, even if you don't love me, I want to love you because that's how God is. God loves us even if we don't love him. That's the premise of the gospel, is that while we were yet sinners, God sent his son. So that's what I was trying to say, and it was very joyful. She went to work. I went to go study somewhere because my class didn't start for a few hours. And basically, things didn't really ever get better between us. And I was kind of confused about that because it seemed like God was doing something. She went back to her home country. I had one more year left of college. I was in college for that last year, and I wasn't trying to seek this person out, even though I would definitely had wanted to talk to her and had wanted to see her, but I wasn't intentionally trying to seek her out. And I was just asking God in general, what do you want me to do after college? And I saw a picture of Alaska in my mind. I thought God said, go to Alaska. So I didn't know if it was God or not, but I decided to ask, okay, God, where in Alaska? Just kind of like taking the next step, trying to find the confirmation to help me have faith that it was God. After that, I looked, and I thought he said Fairbanks, Alaska, so I looked at Fairbanks, Alaska, and it just so happens that there's a town called North Pole, Alaska, very, very close, maybe like a 30-minute drive from Fairbanks. So all of a sudden, because I saw that, I had this faith arise in me, okay, this is God, and it has something to do with this other story with my friend, because I took her Christmas tree and I went to the North Pole. So, okay, I'm going to follow your voice, God, and I'm going to go to Fairbanks, Alaska, and live there for a while. And that's what I did. There's actually a really cool story when I was in Alaska about another thing that happened when I was there. Even though I didn't feel like I experienced any great purposeful thing in Alaska, and I even made bigger mistakes and in my own walk, and I sinned, and it was bad, and God had to discipline me, and yeah, so lots of weird things. But I was one time praying, and I ended while I was in Alaska, and I was looking through my old like prayer pieces of paper. Basically, I brought all the little pieces of paper of all the things I had felt like I heard in prayer before. And while I was looking at them from this one particular point in my life that was like the first time I really tried to hear God's voice for a long time, because I really wanted to, so I dedicated more time to listening to him. And on a piece of paper it said, move to Alaska to learn what to do. And basically I had forgotten, well, not basically, I definitely had forgotten about that paper completely until that moment. So I was really like, wow, that's amazing. And I think I was just so blessed at that time. I still don't know why God sent me to Alaska. So I'm going to have to keep praying about that and keep pursuing him in a relationship about that. But I do hope that this story somehow encourages you and doesn't confuse you. Like, if I feel like I'm so confused sometimes. I don't want to be confused, and I don't believe God is the author of confusion, though I do think he can purposely confuse us because he wants to somehow shift something in our heart. I mean, Jesus said things that people were confused about, so I can be confused by other things he says too, and it can still be God, even though he's not like purposely wanting my life to be in this spiral of confusion all the time. No, I don't believe that's his purpose. And it's very clear by the Bible. His purpose is to bring us peace and hope and love and transform us into the image of his Son through Jesus Christ. So, yeah, feel free to post any questions, comments, whatever. I'm here for you, and I will try to get back to you in some sort of timely manner. I'm sorry if it's a little bit late. But God bless you, and bye-bye.